All right, it's
National Poetry Month.
All right, hey, let's go start the music.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We come to you live every Tuesday, and it's National
Poetry Month.
All right, so it's kind of like his day, but it's it is. So what we're going to do right now is click on to our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
Not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda bad treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you are not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
Yeah, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. So first of all, give a big shout out to Kevin, who's the branch manager, Teresa, Andrea, Olivia, and everybody that rolls out the red, black, and green carpet for us to make this happen. Hey, let's get into some introductions. And it's National Poetry Month. So I'm going to be kind of sort of turning it over to Jody and our special guest to come on and share some pieces with us, and maybe a few words of what motivates them to write that. Hey, I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey, and an active and registered member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. And if you drive by our mosque and if you see that there's a huge hole in it, somebody drove a car through there. We're in the process of getting all the bricks together and getting the inside together. We'll be back in business soon. So shout out to the Padua Center that allows us to meet there at our regular schedule. So Sister Jenny Welch and everybody there, big shout out to them. What am I wearing today? Well, you probably can't see it because I've got the computer monitor and a few things in front, but I've got a yellow CSRN shirt. On the bottom of the shirt, it says All Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. I've got my black hat on, my black glasses by Optical, Twix in between. And I saw Christian Moncrief a couple of weeks ago. Awesome, and I told her what you said about that 40 and 50% discount. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And I think that we're fortunate to be able to create our own space for the protest culture and the activist community to come out and say what needs to be said. And today we're going to be talking about creative expression and art and how that relates to social justice. And it already does because we're here. So, hey, that's my intro. If you could do your intro, then we'll get into our mission statement and guiding principles. And I think I might sound good today. I'm getting into my calm voice. Maybe because Coletta Elise is here and I'm trying to do her calm down stuff today. All right.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. Treasurer and I guess poet, author, illustrator, filmmaker, producer, grassroots organizer, elected official of the group of our organization that we started 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Out of the need for more of society to be seen, heard, and acknowledged for whatever injustices that they are going through. It has been a very long 11 years. I also want to shout out a few other national months besides Poetry Month. I know it's Lupus Month, it's Minority Health Month, it's Muslim Awareness or Muslim Heritage Month.
I just found that out. All right, I need to go back to the mosque and put that on the bulletin board. All right.
So today I was coming through the library. One thing I do when I go into libraries and stuff, since I put myself in libraries and museums and stuff, is to check out their bulletin board. One thing you don't do now, or a lot of people don't do because they got their phones, they got social media to tell them all the stuff. So when you go to a library, if you do or stuff, go check out the bulletin board, see what's going on in their community. If you have events going on in your community, you are allowed to post within the library circulatory system as long as you're not charging a fee. I know that gets sticky with being an artist and, trying to survive and everything like that. But if you have events going on and stuff like that, make sure you keep them aware. I didn't know when I started 11 years ago that this stuff would be possible. I was, I was in a lot of different camps, a lot of different groups, being a solo independent artist, which April 1st, I celebrated 11 years because I was just a host. I'd done a whole bunch of other stuff, done some radio, and one of the jobs that I was doing during promotion was like, hey, you want to host an open mic night? And I'm like, sure. Are you paying? Because I had never been to a poetry night before. I think I did once on a date, like many moons and lifetimes ago. But I was like, yeah. And then I was stuck with the conundrum of April 1st is Poetry Month, and I knew none of this, none of 30 days of writing. Also, shout out to any authors or performers or mentors or anybody that's taking a 30-day challenge. This is day 7 for anybody keeping record. But when I started it, I didn't know none of this stuff. And then so a week before I was hosting my open mic is when I got on stage to read stuff. I had like 2, 3, maybe 4 poems. I got over 7,033 books and all that stuff. So if you're out there writing and trying to do something, I might shameless plug later on during the show with some other events I have going on. Like we have something on the 19th.
Right.
But then I have a murder mystery dinner thing going on the 2nd with Opal Allen. Shout out to everybody over there at my film production company, and stuff like that. So besides all of the other stuff, how do you get to this point? I also want to say, it's spring now. So hopefully we get good weather and stuff like that. If you get a chance to go out and meet some people, go hug a tree. It's not that cold no more. Paint a sidewalk, talk to your neighbors versus online without a camera phone in your hand. Speak to some people. It's warming up. You never know what's going on. I know a lot of municipalities and stuff are trying to open the door for art, and as grants and stuff go around, as this Q1 and everything like that is about to end, they are grants and stuff. Right now, we have a project grant going on in Toledo through the Arts Commission for $3,000. I tell people, if you're writing your first book, ask them for some money. I did. When I first started, I was told no. And, then I started volunteering everywhere and they started giving me awards. But sometimes a no is what you need in order to recalibrate stuff. So if you are an artist of any type, or creator, entrepreneur, you work in a kitchen, you work in daycare or hospitality, or you're a nurse or trying to be a nurse, and STNA, I don't even know if those exist no more, but it's a craft. A lot of people will never get to see or appreciate your life. Medics and doctors and all this stuff, we scream about politics and everything, but none of us will probably survive 24 hours on an emergency room floor. So you have to think of life that way, and all of those people have some type of story to tell. So this is our personal story through the journey of before there was no kings and all that stuff. That's my slight little jab. Before Palestine and before Ukraine and stuff, we were fighting for the simple rights of getting body cameras, of stopping no-knock warrants, of trying to get injustice for people who were murdered in the streets for selling cigarettes or murdered over a bag of Skittles and Sip. Stuff like that, stuff that's tangible in our community. Anyway, this is our mission statement. We thank you each and every single week for joining us, because you don't have to be here. You don't have to replay the show. You don't have to comment in the thing. Right. We love your comments. We love your connection with us. We would love to have you on the show. Camera's over there. We would love to have you on the show if possible. Just send us a line, talk to Brother Washington or talk to me, and you could be in this seat right here as I go take producer shots and stuff after the break. But this is our mission statement. It's part of the walls and foundation, along with our
guiding principles
that make us the organization that has lasted 11 years, that gets to raise flags and has proclamations and resolutions on the table, not because we were trying to be greedy or the one standing on the podium. We just wanted to help people. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice, yes, voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter. Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
And I guess this could sort of be our Black Lives Matter moment, because we're going to look back on this, and this is our first National Poetry Month show.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Never did this before.
More than just me at the end of the show or in the middle of the show, which is nice. I don't have to be the workhorse, you know.
All right.
Poke me with a stick.
Okay. All
Make
right.
some magic now.
All right. Hey, these are our guiding principles. As Jody talked about our mission statement, which is who we are. That's one thing that doesn't change. But how do you get all the protesters in one room and we not, implode? We have some guiding principles that just make sure that while we're organizing together, everybody can find their safe space. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe?
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
And, when we talk about leadership multiplying, hopefully later on, we're going to have Coletta Elise on, and she has this thing on her website. I think it's called Come Sit With Me. Is that right, Jody?
Yep.
Yeah, it says, come sit with me for a second. So I guess that's all her consultations take.
If you're in the art world and stuff, you've probably seen some of her reels on TikTok or Facebook. I believe she does TikTok, but I know definitely Facebook because I don't have TikTok. I just be seeing the little thing bounce around like the old DVD screen on people's stuff. But, I see it on Facebook. I don't know if I've seen it on YouTube. I have a YouTube page, which I'm amazed a lot of people don't. But I also want to say, because outside of the show tonight, shameless plug and everything. Thank you for everybody that wished me happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And we didn't even get the punches in, all right, as they normally do, all right? We got a full studio tonight, so maybe after the podcast, we could just line up. Somebody grab a bat, somebody grab one of the sticks with a
I just
nail
start
in
throwing
it.
books at people.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, thank you to everybody that wished me happy birthday.
Yeah.
I had a lot of birthdays, and this one is probably the most different one than the others because this was 43 on 4-3. My birthday was April 3rd. My age now is 43. So I don't know. Before the show, me and Brother Washington was debating about that. He'll get his at 61, which is the sequential date of
81.
81. Yeah,
81.
that's right. 81.
Right.
81. See, I was trying to make it younger.
I gotta hang on a minute. All right. Damn.
But at 81. So
Yeah.
as I was doing, because I'm doing this 30 days of writing, as I was pondering stuff to think about people who might actually be able to celebrate their sequential birthdays. So anything after, I would say August, that might be hard if you think about the numbers and the arrangements and stuff like that.
All right. Yeah.
And also thank you to everybody that told my grandson, who has continued the legacy of having a birthday on Easter with me. His birthday was Easter Sunday. I was born on an Easter Sunday and then had my birthday at 11. I think it comes around again when I'm 47. So hopefully when mine's come around, we can kind of share or double back or something our Easter birthdays with each other. Other than that, that's all I had to say.
All right. So stay tuned. We're going to be celebrating National Poetry Month. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Canal. En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, family, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Jody is doing his producer things. You'll see some of the shots that he take later on. I mean, some of the pictures. He gonna be taking shots of me again. All right. Hey, listen, one of the CSRN traditions, and this is National Poetry Month, so we have a studio full of those who really get it in when it comes to spoken word. We always ask our guests, and you're almost family now. I think after one more visit, we just don't even do this. You're just here. For the people that are viewing us, who are you? What are you wearing today? And what are we talking about?
So I am Coletta Elise. I'm kind of tired today, y'all. So hopefully y'all can hear me okay. I have on what is this? Button up, a checkered, say button up, little checker button up. Right. It's black and white with a black shirt underneath, and I have a gray skirt on, and I have my black and white Chucks on. It kind of flows.
Okay.
It's giving Snoop Dogg, Long Beach, California style. Anyway, so today we're talking about poetry. Mm-hmm. Poetry month.
Okay, so your origin story. When did you know that you could write, and when did you know that you could perform?
Honestly, I didn't think my poetry was good. I used to write poetry back when I was 15 because my dad used to do drugs, and I'll always write about that. But I never wanted to express because I felt like it didn't sound good. Like I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was 15, so I was like, I'll put it to the side. So fast forward, I'm 35 now, and I'm separated, and that is how I express my feelings. So now I'm able to articulate my feelings through poetry.
All right. And before we logged on, we were checking on your website. I think it's the poiseinfluence.me.
Yes.
Hey, I'm going to share it. Is it okay if I share it?
Of course.
All right. I'm sharing the poiseinfluence.me, and this is Coletta Elise. It says, "Come sit with me for a second," and it says right here, you've got one. Is that one-to-one coaching?
Mm-hmm, I do.
And what is that?
So people can schedule a session with me. So if they want to learn how to articulate their emotions, they want to learn how to be a better version of themselves, and how everything started on my healing journey 17 months ago. And 17 months ago, I didn't know how to heal. I was talking to my sister, and I'm just like, she's like, it's not this extravagant thing that's going to happen to you. It's something that you have to find within yourself. And soon as I moved out here, I started writing. So I started writing my book, my poetry book, October 7th. It was published October 23rd because I had so much inside of me that I buried. And so my separation gave me that outlet to start writing. And so, that's how it all started.
All right. I'm looking at, there's something else. It says the space in between. Maybe should I be clicking on these?
You can.
Okay.
Yes.
All
right. So the one-on-one coaching is just a one-on-one session. You can book with me, self-pay, and I also take Medicaid. And then that's privately. And then the space in between is my actual book, which is available ebook on my website, as well as on Amazon. So you can purchase a hard copy or paperback on Amazon.
And I'm just looking at the screen. It says, "Come sit with me for a second."
Right.
It says, "Have you ever felt lost in the spaces between your past and your potential?" I never heard those two together, past and your potential. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It says, "But you didn't know you were there until a mirror slapped you in the face. Listen, me too. You thought everything, happiness for a reason. Why in the hell am I looking in the mirror? This is for you." Oh, that could be my piece today. All right, I'm a snap for myself. Snap for my damn self. All right, man. What was the creative mind behind the building the website and really placing things where they are with one-on-one coaching, the space in between, and then there's something else I want to look at too.
The caramel macchiato. That's my favorite coffee. So
Okay.
even if you're not a reader, but you want to support me because you love, I am on YouTube, by the way, Jody. So I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. So if you're like, oh my goodness, I just love what you're pouring into the community. I love to hear your voice, but I'm not really a reader, so I don't want to buy your book per se. I can donate. And that's just like a donation page, and you can buy me a coffee, caramel macchiato, because that's my favorite.
So what since you've been doing this, man, what are some of what are some of the people think about talking to you? What are some of the things that you've heard from the people that listen to you when you recite? What are some of your reviews that you've heard?
I heard a lot of reviews. So when I first published a book, I've gotten a lot of feedback from men and women. I would say it's probably like 70% of men who reach out to me and tell me like, wow, I cannot believe you are talking about accountability as a woman, because one of my poems, I do say like taking accountability is like swallowing glass to a woman, because it's hard.
Hey, she said it. All right. I'm not saying that she right. All right. Because I got to go home. But, all right. Y'all know her website if you want to holler at her. All right.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Because in my marriage and in years, it has been, I didn't know how to take accountability. It was always blame game. I will always say, you made me do this, you made me do that, or you made me mad. And I even teach my daughter to this day, like, nobody can make you mad, nobody can make you sad, nobody can make you feel anything. Nobody can put those emotions on you, if you will. It's more so that if you've already feeling that type of way, yes, they can add to what you are feeling, but they are not the reason for your madness. So sometimes you're like, you made me mad. No, I didn't make you mad. The choices that you did is the reason why you are feeling the way that you feel. And mommy just enforced that. So now you have to take accountability or even suffer the consequences.
Wow.
And so I just teach her, she's 3. So I just teach her at a young age, because my job is to guide her. It's not to control her or anything. It's just so that way she understands how to move through life, because nobody owes you anything. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And with that, you have to understand your emotions. So if you're already upset because you think mommy isn't going to give you that snack, and then I tell you, no, I'm justifying what you already feel. Therefore, you're going to be mad, and then you're going to blame mommy for being mad. That's not how emotions work.
All right. Family, if you could be here, because the daughter is here and she's looking at you as if she's heard this before. All right. All right. It is what it is. Okay.
And I also wanted to touch on too, you said, oh my goodness, what did you say? What do some of the people say? So what do some people say? I mean, they always compliment me on like my intellect and how I put words together and how I'm so soft and how I come off like I don't care. And it's not that I don't care. I do care. It's just I only can control the things I can control. So if I feel a certain type of way about a situation, I'll address it as far as, say how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And either way it go, I'm okay if it goes my way, and I'm okay if it doesn't go my way. So I'm not going to be upset because it didn't go my way or be hurt off of it. I just take it for what it is, and I appreciate the experience.
Have you always felt like that? Was it something that led you? I like that. I like that concept of I'm going to take responsibility for myself. You're not going to gaslight me. You got to accept your own. What was it that led you to this type of thinking?
Trauma. Trauma. I turned my pain into passion. And so I've always written, like I said, but I wasn't confident. So then it was like, now going through the separation, I'm not tied to nobody but me, and I had to take care of my daughter. So it's like, I want to be the best version of me, so that way she's not carrying my traumas as she get older. So I had to understand, well, what am I dealing with? And it helped me through poetry. And I'm not saying everybody needs to write poetry in order to get to this level of awareness, but it's more so being able to articulate your emotions in a way that however is fit for you. And we discover that through one-on-one coaching. Then we discover what is going to help you reach the level of awareness that you can be a better version of yourself. So.
And if you want to reach her, before we get into some of the spoken word, you see her name at the bottom. is the poiseinfluence.me. Log in, put it in your bookmark, contact her, set up that one-on-one. And if not the one-on-one, what is it? Caramel macchiato.
Caramel macchiato.
All right.
Yes.
Jody, when are we going to have a caramel? Okay. All right.
I'm going to bring it next time.
Okay. You're right. That's what's up. We need to have her back every week. You bring us caramel macchiato. All right.
It's so good.
All right. Okay. All right. I think we got to. Okay. Well, we got.
I mean, it don't have to be Starbucks. It'd be Panera.
Yeah. Why are we mentioning where to getting it? All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's. All right. It's National Poetry Month.
Okay.
We're going to get into some poetry. All right. How do you write? What influences you to write? Do you have the title first?
I do.
Do you have to have the experience first? What is your process?
So I write in my my phone because I just be going at it. Sometimes I will write in my notebook because every morning I do a worship where I listen to gospel and I reflect. I read a Bible verse and then I reflect on that verse, and through that verse sometimes God gives me titles and then it travels back to an experience that I've been through, so then I start writing about it. So even the poem that I'm reading today is called Name the Pain, because a lot of times we go through things in our life that we are not able to name the pain. Like, what is it that is truly hurting you despite the surface level? Surface levels, oh my goodness, he get on my nerves. But deeper than that, it could result in the feelings of being rejected from your dad. So then it boils over into your relationship. So that's how I start writing. Sometimes I could hear something like Black Lives, and I'm like, oh, Black Lives, and it take me back to a point in my life where, COVID or whatever, and then boom, I just start writing about it. But most of the time, my poems more so like the space in between is about yourself. So self-love, connection, desire, intimacy, sex, and most importantly, self-discovery. So everything leads back to you because I am a woman of faith, woman of God, and God moves through me through intimacy, which I think overall God moves through intimacy because it's in those quiet moments where you hear God, where you are having that one-on-one with God. So
what are we going to hear today?
Yes. So we are hearing, it's called Name the Pain, which I usually don't say the title. I just read it. But in this instance, it's called Name the Pain. Sorry, I can't clear my throat. My goodness, I feel like it's dry a little bit. But okay, excuse me. Come sit with me for a second, because I used to do things that made my own life harder just so someone else could feel how much I was hurting. I would say things I didn't really mean just to see if you would react. Because if you got angry, then at least I knew you were feeling something with me. And in my mind, that meant you cared. I would push conversations too far, bring up old arguments, twist my words around until they sounded sharper than the truth. And sometimes I would drink because alcohol was the only time I could actually say what was sitting in my chest without feeling embarrassed about it. Back then, I kept telling myself, you made me mad. You made me sad. You made me feel this way or that way, repeating those easy words like they explained everything. When really, I just didn't know how to explain what was actually happening inside of me. Because it's easy to say you're sad, but it's harder to say you feel lonely sitting next to someone you love, or ashamed about the way you handled something, or scared that if you stop fighting, you might not matter anymore. It's easy to say you're angry, but sometimes anger is really fear. Sometimes it's insecurity. Sometimes it's the feeling that you don't know how to ask for love in a healthy way. What I didn't understand then is that those emotions were mine before they ever were yours, and blaming someone else for what you feel only keeps you from learning yourself. But even in the middle of all that confusion, something beautiful still came out of it. A life I had to pray for before I even knew when she would arrive showed up right on time. And looking at her forced me to look at myself in a way I never had before. Because how can you teach a child about love if you haven't learned how to give it to yourself first? Now I understand that joy doesn't come from another person. Peace doesn't come from another person. And nobody else is responsible for carrying the weight of my emotions. Those feelings belong to me first. And when my daughter grows up, the one thing I want her to know is that loving someone deeply doesn't guarantee they will know how to love you the same way. So the first love she should ever build is the one she has for herself. Because when you know who you are, you stop making Because when you know who you are, you stop trying to make other people feel your pain. You learn how to understand it yourself.
All right, and we're gonna snap our fingers after that. All right. All right. I want to get into one more piece.
Okay.
What was for that piece right there? What was the influence that kind of set off so that you could write that?
My pain, like it was a situation one time my daughter get in trouble. She's 3, and she kept saying that I made her mad, and I'm like, and I was really trying to get her to understand that mommy did not make you mad, like similar to what I told you before that example. And so I'm like, well, let me name it, because even in my relationship, I didn't know how to say that I was hurting to him. I didn't know how to have that conversation.
Okay.
So even when he asked for the divorce, I'm just like, how do I say, like, this hurts me in a way that is going to affect me, you know, in the future, what have you? I ran to the bar and started drinking, because that was the only way that I knew how to cope at the moment. So now I don't run to the bar anymore. I sit with it. I have to go through it. I write it out instead of just looking for something else to make me forget how I feel.
All right, hey, what are we going to listen to next?
Yeah. So this next one, you know, y'all, I have 696 poems. So,
and just to know, Jody, I'm all chilled out right now. Normally, I'm kind of amped up, but you guys got me in a space right now. All right, that's what's up.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to read. I don't know. This one is like a little. It's a little touchy.
Okay.
This one is "If I Never Get to Love You," or Psyche.
Oh, Psyche.
Psyche? Why Psyche? Okay.
Psyche. Yeah.
Okay, so come sit with me for a second. I see you, even when you think no one else does. Not the version of you that would. Let me start over, because I cannot stand when I mess up. I be having the whole flow, right? Okay.
All right. I think that's part of the poem too.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but okay.
Hey.
Come sit with me for a second. I see you, even when you think no one does. Not the version of you that the world demands. Not the mask you wear to show strength, but the real you. The one who feels tired from carrying so much. The one who wonders if it's ever good enough. I see how much weight you carry, the weight of expectations, how you don't complain because you believe you have to bear it alone. I see the strength in your silence, the thoughts you don't say out loud, the battles you fight that no one else asks you about. I feel you. I feel the pressure that's been placed on your shoulders, the unspoken belief that your worth is tied to what you can provide, to how much you can endure. And I need you to know that I admire you, not for how much you've done or what you've built, but for who you are when you think no one is paying attention. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to always be the strong one. I want you to know it's okay to pause, to let someone stand beside you and remind you that you don't have to carry it alone. It's okay to feel. It's okay to admit when something hurts. That doesn't make you less of a person. It makes you human, and it makes you real. I want you to know the parts of you that you think are too heavy to share. I want you to sit in the moments with you and hear your heart without judgment, without fixing, without expecting anything in return. Because I know it's not easy for you to let someone in. I know how much trust it takes to let someone see the cracks beneath the surface. But I also know that the cracks don't make you weak. They make you stronger. They show where you survived, where you learned, where you've risen above what was meant to break you. And I want you to know that I see those parts of you and I don't turn away from them. You're not alone, even when it feels that way. I'm here to remind you that you are more than enough, even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. I'll listen when you're ready to speak, and I'll sit in silence when you need space to breathe. You are worthy of love, respect, and peace, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And I'll keep reminding you of that until you believe it for yourself.
All right. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Colette, I want to thank you for coming by.
Thank you. I love reading poetry.
And sharing that with us. Would you be willing to well, how can people find you?
Yes, so I'm Coletta Elise on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. It's either Coletta Elise or Coletta Dykes. It's one of the two, but I really like Coletta Elise because when I sign the books, I usually put CA for Coletta Elise. So
Okay.
and it's actually Coletta, not Coletta, but I always say Coletta. It's so funny. But yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll cash app you. All right.
And that's what you said, Jody. I'm cracking up.
Yeah.
So
Don't crack up too much. Yeah. He always right. All right.
But yeah, that's where you can find me. Also, you can go on my website. It's on there. YouTube, I typically just post my poetry. Like that's pretty much it. In other places, it's like little snippets and different things like that. So
Jody talked about a book earlier. Is there a book?
Oh yes, of course. The Space in Between, that's on my website. Is Coletta Dykes at thepoisinfluence.me, as well as on Amazon, The Space in Between. And if you want a paper copy, it'll be on Amazon, The Space in Between. And then on my website, you can get the ebook, whichever you prefer. I do have a show coming up April 25th, Saturday, and it's going to be at, I don't know.
All right.
Oh, the Lion's Den. It's going to be at the Lion's Den. Look, Jody knows. It's going to be at the Lion's Den at 7 p.m. So if you want to come and hear me out, definitely come. And on May 1st is Fish Fry Fridays at, do you know where it's at, Jody? No. It's a new place in Toledo that just opened up. So
okay. All right, we'll find out where it is.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, this is our first CSRN National Poetry Month podcast. We're looking forward to hearing Jody after the break. I don't have anything this year. Hopefully next year I'm going to have something because I love spoken word. I've listened to Jody for the last decade. I should have one already memorized that I could come off the dome.
Right. I appreciate you having me.
All right. Hey, listen, this is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Elgic channel. In our last video, we learned how to properly clean our TV for that perfect movie night. In case you missed it, you can check it out by clicking the link below. But what's a TV without its remote control? It's the accessory that gets handled the most and collects a lot of germs, dust, and grime. So today, we're giving it a proper clean to keep it fresh and ready for use. And the best part is that these same steps can also be used for streaming sticks, gaming controllers, and even household appliance remotes. Now, let's get it clean. To clean your remote, all you need are household items. You'll need a microfiber cloth, a small brush or toothbrush, a toothpick, rubbing alcohol or bleach-free disinfecting wipes, and a cotton swab. Now, to clean our remote, first remove the batteries. Then, tap the back to shake out loose debris. Use a toothbrush and toothpick to remove crumbs and dirt between the buttons. Next, for an initial wipe, dampen your microfiber cloth with alcohol or use disinfecting wipes to wipe down the front, back, and side of the remote. Remember, never spray liquid directly on any controller. To ensure the areas around the buttons are disinfected, dip a cotton swab in alcohol, squeeze out the excess, and wipe the nooks and crannies around the buttons. Then, do a final wipe down. Lastly, Allow the remote to air dry before reinstalling the batteries. And there you have it, a fresh and disinfected remote control. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. You can click the link in the description box below for our other tutorials. And don't forget, cleaning is a family affair. See you next time, and as always, let's get it clean.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back celebrating National Poetry Month. And this is the CSRN National Poetry Month podcast, celebrating 30 years of National Poetry Month. And some say, well, I've been a poet for more than 30 years. Well, you know, whenever there's a national something, you know, that doesn't mean that poetry's only been around for 30 years, but it's been recognized by whoever decides what National Pi Day is, or National Muslim Awareness Month is, or
National Minority Health Month, stuff like that. You know, we all got to celebrate something, and this is the one for us griots.
Right. And I wanted to talk real quick about Danetta Carter. Last week she had the 15th annual, so that's 15 years she's been doing it. Business and Health Expo. This was at Epworth Church right there at on Central across from Wildwood, and there was a lot of vendors there. I saw Anita Madison. I saw I saw handmade crafts. They came in earlier and brought me a beads, you know, the bracelets.
Awesome.
I saw the lady that produces the Pursuit magazine.
I noticed a copy on our desk over here.
Right. There's a lot of people that I saw. I saw there was someone from the water company where there's an app you can download, and you can monitor your water. You can monitor the meter. You can see how much you use. So there was a lot of people there. Man, I know I'm forgetting somebody. I entered to get a new roof and siding for my house, so I hope they slipped my application in there. Also, what's coming up soon is the Break the Silence. It's time to break the silence. It's going to be Sunday the 19th. I think that's next Sunday at Monroe Street Church. That's 3613 Monroe Street. CSRN has been participating. We've been on one of the day ones, and also this year we're going to have Jody. We're going to have Jody to read also the speech by Dr. King concerning Vietnam. We had our sister Rachel. Man, what is Rachel's last name? Rachel Roy, and her people from the Lupus Foundation of Greater Ohio. They were here last week, and we were talking about the lupus, the ride for lupus, walk ride for lupus. It's going to be May 17th, so that's next month. I think Lupus Awareness Month is in May, and so come on out. It's at Ottawa Park. CSRN is going to be there. I'm going to try my best to make more awareness for this. Next, I wanted to mention this week's edition of the Final Call. Last week, we had our International Representative Brother Akbar Muhammad. He had passed this week. We're having a pioneer. His name is Bob Law. He was a radio legend, but also he turned his radio popularity into social justice. So pick up this week's issue of the Final Call newspaper, and there was a really great article in there. It says that the New York tri-state area was stunned by the recent passing of radio veteran Bob Law, a respected Black radio pioneer, activist, educator, and avid health practitioner. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches, he was beloved for his popular night talk call-in show. This is on WWRL 1600 AM, which became the first live nationally syndicated broadcast Black radio show. I did not know that. And you had a poem regarding Black
so that's
press.
probably in there. If that's one of the first, I know for National Black Media Day in America, thanks to Elgin Rogers and a couple of our news outlets that happened. I know there's a historical legend when I saw the Juice last week or week before last, I think it was week before last, where we had the Black Wall Street. I let them know that they're part of that, and you could actually catch that poem at Buckeye Cable, thanks to Del Grace and Sacred Stills. They do a Toledo Has Spoken segment, so you can go to YouTube or you can watch it on Buckeye Cable and hear the whole poem about Black radio.
Right. It says, despite suffering a stroke, Mr. Law continued his mission of forceful advocacy and community building. He passed away March 30th. This is from Benjamin Chavis, the president and CEO of the National Newspaper Publishers Association. He said that Bob Law was a transformative icon in Black radio and other media for decades. Dr. Ben Chavis also told the Final Call that the NNPA is it's a trade agency that consists of 200 Black-owned newspaper and media companies. It also pays tribute to the outstanding contributions and legacy of Bob Law in the struggle and liberation of African people in America and throughout the world. So this Kwanzaa, when we mention our elders that have passed on, when we say Brother Bob Law, we'll say Ashe. The next story from this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper will consist of the story regarding more bloodshed and expanded war fronts in Israel and America's plan for reshaping the Middle East. It says here in the Final Call newspaper, it says warmongering and war making are ever present in the Middle East. In the center of the conflict is the state of Israel and the United States of America, with escalating conflict leading to countless deaths. Insistent bloodshed in Gaza, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem, war on the Islamic Republic of Iran, and battles inside Lebanon, all involving Israel with the implicit support of America. And lastly, it says that there's a growing confrontation in the region after the U.S. and Israel jointly attacked Iran late February. Analysts have previously warned that the move would draw in other countries and the conflict will subsequently spread throughout the region. And this is something that we've been talking about for quite some time. And if you've ever took a look at our board here in the back, well, you don't see the Iran
no, you do.
Corporate,
it's up there at the corner.
Yeah, the corporate logo. Also, you've got Netanyahu as Nintendo, and you've got American Airstrikes as American Airlines. So not saying that we told you so, but hey, it is what it is. So make sure you pick up this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. You'll find this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper at the Mott Branch Library. We're leaving at least 15 or 20 copies, and you'll find them. Well, you'll find them with me on this Saturday at Brown, not Brown in Nebraska, but on Bancroft in Detroit. And lastly, we're going to have the Sisters of the Nation of Islam, the MGT and GCC. They're going to have their How to Keep House workshop. This is going to be April 18th, this Saturday. Is this Saturday coming up or next Saturday? I think it's next Saturday.
That's next Saturday.
Next Saturday at the EB Center. That's on 18. What does that say on the flyer? 1806 Madison. I can't even read my own writing. And if you want to RSVP, text or call 419-320-2924. We'll have Sister Yvette hopefully come and talk about this, or call in and give a take on what to expect. And as you see, all are welcome. We're going to learn how to keep house mentally, spiritually, and physically. And there's a brother there too. So Jody, that means that you're not getting out of this one today.
But then you make me look at the flyer and see something now. Like, but we're not going to speak on AI on this show.
Okay, well, okay, all right. Well, you already spoke on
AI
it.
apocalypse.
Hey, well, it is what it is, and if we could use technology to move from A to B a little bit faster and not make it look so AI. Hey, so shout out
to hiring real actors.
Hey, you know what, Jody? Somebody put a lot of time and effort.
No, they didn't.
Right? Yes, they sure did.
They put some typing in a key prompt. I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm sure that
all
artist in me.
Okay, so Sister Yvette, I'm going to text you where Jody lives and all the sisters. All right, so well, you'll see him there anyway. We'll get him in the parking lot. So join us on April 18th. This is for the Muhammad's Mosque number 91 and the MGT GCC, How to Keep House. And this is for physically, mentally, and spiritually. Jody, I think that's all that I wanted to cover. Big shout out to Coletta Elise for coming in, come sit with me for a second and sharing some pieces with us. Hey, listen, I wanted to ask you regarding National Poetry Month. You are an avid, show me stuff on the phone. I'm trying to do my part right here. I can't look and read and talk.
I just got the whole breaking news as I'm going down my timeline and stuff. Yes, he nerfed again. Supposedly, he agrees to suspend the bombing for 2 weeks again. So everybody out there that was worried about today and Tuesday, you're not fired. So
okay, all right. Well, okay, Jody. All right, it's National Poetry Month, and I tried my best not to say anything because it's supposed to be an hour show. We were just about to make it a 3-hour show. So it's National Poetry Month. What does it mean to you? Do you have some pieces for us? And what's been happening in the community that you think we should know about?
Well, there are plenty of open mics going on, actually, just as Colette Elise and said that in her show. I'm trying to find it. I know it's hosted by Vincent Hoskins. It's SOS Club. Raw presents Poetry Night, Fish Fry Friday. That's going to be May 1st. Just to give y'all some details on that. That's going on 5267 North Detroit. Again, I'm not going to be able to make it because I have a dinner stage play, murder mystery thing going on during that time. So on the 2nd and the 1st is our last day to rehearse. But that's going on for me. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff. Shameless plug tonight, as soon as we close down the show and tear down, I'll be going over to the link to perform, which is tonight. Me and Miss Lady Lovely will be performing. And if you don't know the address to the link, I'm about to give it to you right now. It used to be called Arnie's, but it is, what is the address? See? And just when I think 2631 Bancroft, right next to JoJo's in that little plaza, as soon as you pass the 7-Eleven, if you're over in that area and stuff. So Twisted Love, where live music and poetry meet, first Tuesday, April 7th. So today is the first Tuesday of National Poetry Month. Again, shout out to everybody that might be uptaking the challenge and stuff on 30 pieces. Today is number 7. If you keep a count, doesn't have to be long, something like that. A lot of people now are kind of doing video logs and stuff like that anyway. So technically that's a poem. For me, National Poetry Month, as I celebrate 11 years of doing something I never imagined doing, believe me, poetry and writing books and stuff was nowhere on my life plans of trying to figure it out growing up. I just found some place where people listened, where everything else that I had done in my life never made any sense until I spoke to people from the stage or wrote a book or created some artwork or connected with people through social justice and stuff like that. That is a form of poetry. That is a form of healing and trauma release and being able to meet like-minded people. Art is a beautiful thing. And I've touched almost every media I can think of. I've done paintings and murals and painted people and done chalk the walks and done all my own personal exhibits pre-pandemic. I think the last one was during the pandemic, where I invited other artists and stuff and took the bill of buying the building, getting the tickets, doing the advertisement, all that good stuff. And initially I started out just hosting shows. I think I had like 2 or 3 poems. And then it became very apparent to me after our second night that not a lot of people, it's different now. You got a whole bunch of open mic places, like shout out to Poetry Please, shout out to Juan in Texas, Lonnie J. Hamilton, shout out to Voices in Power, shout out to Earl or Soulful, a friend of mine I met in Detroit, 90s Book Cafe, Knowledge Cafe, and stuff like that. Places that Detroit Coffee, poetic place where I used to go and perform with Douglas and stuff like that. It's been a very interesting career for me. I've gotten to travel to Japan, gotten to travel to Paris, gotten to go all over the United States and beyond because of art. Even right now, I work at the Art Museum.
Okay.
And unfortunately, another thing, letting y'all know, get there by the 19th, because the 20th, you will not be able to go into the green building except for bathrooms and the cafe. I currently work in the cafe. We will be closing the cafe in June, the first week in June. So we still will be open. The Toledo Symphony will be open. The Learning Center will be open. Our auxiliary hubs around the city will be open. The cafe is open until June, but all the other stuff, our paintings and our exhibits, are going to travel the world while we do this. What is it? When you're working on your house and stuff, you adding expansions.
Rebuilding or renovation.
Yeah, the largest renovation in the history of the museum, where it's going to be a loop around, and it looks all good. But for me and other employees that's there, we got 1.5 years, possibly, if all construction goes right. If all construction goes right and sets on time and stuff like that, 1.5 years till we could possibly come back. So we're going to be losing a big part of the art in Toledo. So I implore you, if you can, by the 19th, and you live in the Toledo area, or you wanted to see some of the last galleries besides the Cursed exhibit and stuff that's at the Glass Pavilion, come see us. We'd love to see you. I would love to cook you a meal and all that good stuff. But back on subject, poetry is where I found myself. I don't know where I would be 11 years ago, spending the last little money that I had to get to this open mic, because I was hosting it, and then a few people came, then a few people came again. I still have all of those photos. One thing that I've done in my career is I have a collection of all the shows I've ever been to. It's not just, I'm getting my audience. I get audience pictures, but I also get the performers, who some have never ever performed again. I've never gotten to meet, or some that I actually see online and everything. Shout out to Black Ice in Chicago. Shout out to Wolf Hours and all the podcasts that I used to go and do streaming and stuff like that made me a better poet. During the pandemic, when we didn't have our stages, I learned different sets, different way of doing things, and that's what kind of spawned the Childhood Trauma series, which is similar but different from the Tears of the Wounded and the Spoken Truth stuff, because it deals primarily in healing, primarily in stuff like that. All my political pieces, all my love pieces, as I just wrote one for yesterday. I am not a love poet. Like, when people was like, "Oh, you're a poet, and talk to me about some flowers and some nice things," I'm like, I don't do that. I make people cry. I make people relive memories they haven't thought about in lifetimes, but it's good. It's healing. People come up to me how I got my stage name, because one of my other names when people came, when I came online, was Child of the System, or COTS. A long story. But then when I started performing for the first time with comedians and doing shows, everybody, as I got off stage trying to get people to say Child of the System, they just was like, "You the truth." I'm like, "But it's Child of the," and they, "Nah, you the truth." So
That's right.
I took about 2 or 3 days after that and just said, "Well, what do I do when I'm on stage? I speak." And for me, it was just not just another talent to learn, but I have a photographic memory. So I decided if I was ever going to do anything after seeing a few poets like Lonnie and Kay Renee and Hunter Prey and some other people, that if I'm going to go out here, I'm not reading from my phone. I'm not reading from paper. I wanted to memorize the stuff, which is very different from the written stuff, as I've learned, because no two performances are ever the same. So if you're not there tonight, you're not going to see what it would be like, because it's going to be a whole different set. I now know how to make 15 to 20-minute sets out of the thousands of pieces that I've wrote, or the hundreds that I've memorized specifically for an event. So no two are the same.
All right.
The differences, and we're going to go on to today's poem because see them flickering the lights and stuff. Plus, I got to get to this show. But one thing people ask me, what's the difference between reading, performing, and featuring? Well, reading, you're going to relate to people differently. There won't be as many long drawn out words or stuff. You can't emphasize certain things you would on stage. It's still the same poem, but when you get into the phase of performing, say for an open mic or a community event, there's different stuff I can do. I can hold words longer. I can repeat words that, because I've slammed and done so much stuff longer, it will never be the same. I may just take 2 words out of this sentence up here and double it, and then go back later on in the poem and double them again, but they're not written. And the difference between a feature is I'm timed. You paid your money to come see me, so I better give you the best performance that you'll ever see in your life. And I've been accomplished at that. I didn't off stage. I'm a very different person. I'm very quiet. I like my headphones. I like to people watch. On stage, you will never forget me. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. I go Micro Machine, man, rundown. There's only a couple things also for us Toledoans and stuff like that. Happy opening day for the Mud Hens. Today was opening day for them. There'll be a lot of restaurants, bars celebrating that type of stuff. It's like Jeep Fest, or like last week was Jeep Fest for us, but Jesus Fest for everybody else that celebrated and took part in Easter and Good Friday, which was my birthday. But going back to this, things that you might have missed real quick. Of course, we had Danetta Carter's thing go on. There was also the Chosen Kids' 3rd annual Easter egg hunt at Joey Brown Park. And there was, trying to think, there was that's the only thing I really got on here, besides the DJ event and a premiere of Sensitive Subjects with Sunny on Sundays, a friend of mine through poetry. She does her stuff on YouTube. Things coming up that you might not want to miss. Of course, tonight is the link, but there is also let's go to the things. Tomorrow at 6:30, Dooley Blues at Riverside Barbecue Company. Dooley Wilson, he's a awesome musician and stuff like that. Riverside Barbecue is a company that just opened. That's over in Ostrich Town or off of LaGrange in the historic Vistula area and stuff like that. April 18th, there's the 5th annual Don't Look Like What I've Been Through, a virtual open mic for the ACE 5th annual. That is Mo Poetry Phillips, somebody who helped me actually break into the school curriculum. So if you can make it to that. And coming up here specifically in Toledo before I have to go, this Saturday is Uncloistered Poetry at the Attic. That is a free event. Next Tuesday is the TRL or Toledo Listening Room. They have their open mic. Of course, the Link has their open mic. There is also the last virtual town hall. If you want to make your opinions heard or anything about what's going on with the Art Museum, studio sessions with Lethal. And I believe if she has some more tickets left, hopefully I'll be able to get one of the last couple tickets. My cousin Kayla Renee is having something. Yes, Kayla Renee Band and 83. 1983, the band, if you don't know who they are, but they're doing a show. And see, there she is. And you might have seen her, but she's a singer-songwriter, and she has a show on the 11th. And there's only a few tickets left. Again, hopefully I'll get my tickets. If you want to know how to get tickets, go to 1983 the band or Kayla Renee. They do both have websites, and you can figure out how to get one of those tickets. It's going to be at Grumpy's downtown on the 11th. All righty.
All right. So one of the things that we do before we close out is called 5 Minutes of Heat. And we came up with this from a song called 5 Minutes of Funk. And as you see scrolling, we're celebrating 12 years of CSRN starting in 2014. And every time we closed an in-person meeting, instead of saying business or meeting adjourned, we would have someone perform some creative expression. That could be a rap, it could be a dance or anything, and we just happen to lean into spoken word. So, what do you have for us today?
So this is number 2. We're probably going to miss a lot of these. I am on day number 7 of 30 days of writing. Also, I'm not doing the challenge. I've done it before for 5 years. I am actually going to produce a book, hopefully by 2030. If we're all still here, how that goes. But hopefully by 2030, I'll produce a book over the years of me starting my career until I completed it the first time. So this is number 2 of 30 days of writing. It's called Take This With You, Read in Case of Emergency. Oh, and because it's National Poetry Month, I will begin it with my intro or opener if you ever book me for a show. I am an open book, yes, open book to those that decide to read. 1,000 words, yes, 1,000 words to those who've only caught a glimpse of me. And a lifetime, yes, a lifetime to those that can say they were part of my story. If you are anywhere under the sound of my voice, you are now family, because on this stage, yes, on this stage is where I share the most vulnerable parts of myself. And I hope, yes, I hope that you hear me. So let's begin. Peace. Take this with you. Read in case of emergency. I hope your tomorrows are better than your yesterdays, and your present keeps you grounded to face your future. I pray the sun never sets on your dreams, and your reality, yes, your reality shines brighter than any dark moment you've ever faced. I hope you recognize how beautiful, yes, beautiful and amazing that you are without needing external validation or being dimmed by someone who doesn't understand your light. I pray, if you have not found it yet, you find something, yes, find something to be passionate about that will make all the dark days, struggles, sacrifice, and regret worth it. I hope that even in the most painful times, you are able to see yourself and understand, yes, understand that sometimes a mistake is just that. Failure is just that. Embarrassment is just that. And fear of the unknown is part of being human. And you take that with you. And you take that next chapter just as gracefully as you did the past chapter, so your future chapter can be written. Even if it means you pause or you have to rewrite some things, people, or places out for the context of your sanity, I pray this message finds you in the good times, the bad times, the normal times, and the right time. So you don't give up on yourself. To the person reading this or hearing this, I thank you for this moment we had to share. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. And hopefully next week, this will be my Black Lives Matter moment, our first National Poetry Month. Hey, and it's still National Poetry Month.
Yep, all month long.
All right. So we had Coletta Elise on today. We might find, you know what? We can even Bluetooth someone in.
Yeah, might have to reach out to Hunter.
All right.
Or get K. Renee here or somebody. You know.
All right. Or I may dust off my book that don't even exist. All right.
Yeah.
All right. But as always, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.